XXXTentacion was a huge influence in my life when I first heard of him during my freshman year of college with his, I guess, the mainstream song "Look at Me." That song was one of the most like hypest shit I've ever heard in my life, and it kind of made me curious to listen more to his music. Ever since then, 3 years passed, and unfortunately, he passed away. He was shot in Florida, and upon hearing the news, I was devastated and I was depressed throughout the day and possibly throughout the week. Kind of just started jamming to his music again, but more often than I used to. And I wanted to make a video to highlight some of my top 10 favorite XXXTentacion songs from, I guess, when he started as a SoundCloud rapper to his legacy throughout, from 17, Revenge, and Question Mark, and some other tracks that he just had. Just to let everyone know that a lot of this is just, again, based on my opinion, and most of these accounts were mainly because I had some sort of memory with it, or it was like really impactful in my life. It kind of made me look at rap in a different way, I guess you can say. So, and let's also say this video will not be advertised. This probably will be my last XXXTentacion video unless he hopefully does drop an album after his death. Usually a lot of artists that passed away usually drops an album randomly, or some random tracks here and there, which I hope he does, or his family, whoever does it. But either way, I just want to say, just rest in peace, X. My great condolences to his family, his friends, and pretty much every single artist who were affected heavily from his death.
Ever seen a nigga hung with a gold chain? I'd rather sing about the same things that we claim. Such as bashful, but niggas like a task force, mobbing on the streets and robbing stores and ski masks.
Number 10 track is Riot. It's a very short track by X, and but it displays one of his more lyrical side. And a lot of his fans, stands even, will say that this is probably his best verse throughout his discography, throughout his career. And it's really easy to see why, because this is really like a lyrical masterpiece with this boom bap beat, and the lyrics are really hard hitting when you get to examine it. And some people say X is not really that lyrical, but if you show them this, they will change their minds.
Depression and obsession don't mix.
Number 9 is Depression and Obsession from his debut album 17. And I'm gonna be honest, I really enjoyed that album, and I've been listening to it more often after my first review of that, which I will have that in the link in the description for y'all to see if you all missed it. I really enjoyed the I guess his it's not really experimental music, but it doesn't really stick with hip hop. This was where he kind of popularized emo rap with some alternative music, acoustic ballads here and there, and it was just a really weird, but it was an awesome listen. Very short, unfortunately, but Depression Obsession is an acoustic ballad, and it details X's relationship with his past relationships with I guess her name was Aaliyah, based from the outro track. And this is it really displays X's singing. Is really nice, very somber, but it's very calm, very soothing to listen to, and I really love this track.
You're up all night, so you don't wanna wait on me. I'm about to catch my flight, so you don't gotta wait on me. No, you don't wanna.
Number 8 is probably the first soothing track I ever heard from X, so I had to put this on here. Is I Don't Want to Do This Anymore. It's a very, very lo-fi track, and I don't know if it was probably on Revenge or it was just a single in his SoundCloud days, but it was very regarded to introduce people, like, because when his first side, like his first music, was very aggressive and very hype beast like. So when people heard this track, it was a huge change of pace, and people were like, well, I like this side of X. That's pretty much how I was too when I first heard it. This is like, it's a very lovely song, lovely instrumental, chilled out lyrics, except for the fucking "I'll fuck you till you come" lyric spoken in there, but it's still, he's very good singer in this song. It's just amazing. For my number 7 track, it's actually kind of a meme song, but it was one of the songs that really like impacted me. One of the first songs I heard when I was a freshman in college, and it is hashtag "I'm sipping tea in your hood." What the fuck is up? That song is like borderline metal, and it abuses. And I think this is probably the first song, first rap song that I heard that abuses distorted bass all over the fucking track. That's all you hear. If you were to listen to it in your car, your speakers would probably blow up. And there's even versions where I've seen people pretty much say, like, every time he says a curse word or something, it would distort the bass so goddamn much. It sounds like a fart. Shout out to Ski Mask. But yeah, the song is crazy. I wish the verses was less long, because like, halfway in, it's just the instrumental, the distorted instrumental, and people can get tired of it, but it's a really, really fun track to listen to.
Ay, ay, ay. I like bitch who is your mess. Ay, can't keep my dick in my pants. Ay, my bitch don't love me no more. Ay, she kick me out on life, bro. Ay, that bitch don't wanna be friends.
For number 6, I had to put this on here. Look at Me. The main single that pretty much just made X a huge like contender in the rap game. This is pretty much where he kind of popularizes the A flow, and the whole controversy, publicity with Drake stealing it when he made his More Life mixtape or playlist, whatever you call it, where he he straight up ripped the X's flow on one of his tracks. And this is one of the more, like, I guess, immature songs that X made in his career that went viral immediately. That shit, it was just crazy, man. And I seen people just going hype listening to this track, especially reciting "Can't keep my dick in my pants" line every single time it comes up. And this is kind of like introduction to the whole emo phase that he will soon kind of develop as an artist. You know, my emo bitch like a wrist slit type of shit. But yeah, I had to put this song on here. It's amazing.
I'm in pain, wanna put 10 shots in my brain. I've been tripping about some things can't change. Switch all the same time on tape, put your diss in bag of a phone call. Girl that you fought with, kill herself.
Now coming in our top 5. Number 5 pick is Jocelyn Flores from his debut album 17. Short track, around less than 2 minutes long, and it pretty much depicts like X's experience upon hearing the death of a fan of his. Her name was Jocelyn Flores, who unfortunately committed suicide. And this song is really painful to listen to. The sample is by Dynasty, if you ever heard him. He makes little snippets of music, sounds beautiful. He uses that to sample majority of his 17 album. All of it sounds amazing. And yeah, this is one of the more depressing music to listen to by X. Some fans will regard it saying that it's one of their favorites. And this track, when it was leaking in YouTube, there was one leak in particular where it was just like 4 bars and with the instrumental on loop, and I would just listen to that until the full release of 17. And yeah, the song pretty much was an introduction to his more softer side.
Yeah. Hey, pick up the pace, L-O-I-A, fly, no haze. Indeed, I am pretty, my effort in vain. The needle on my veins, I'll fall in the sleep.
My number 4 pick, I have the last hype track, which is King of the Dead. Was kind of a hard decision. I kind of would make 4 and 3 interchangeable, because this is one of the most hypest tracks ever. The bass bangs. This is a fucking banger. He's a little bit edgy on this side, but this also displays his flow and lyrical abilities. This is a song that normally, if I'm feeling hyped up, I would go to over the other hype tracks that he has, and it's almost perfection, for real.
Don't leave this town, my dear. Don't leave here.
We're all down to our top 3. My third pick is actually a very, I would say, controversial pick, and it's Tightrope. And this song is pretty much it's just mainly like a sample of a song with the almost same name. And I don't know, I really don't know why I love this track, to be honest. I would see myself having this just playing in the background, and I guess I wouldn't say it's like, oh, it's good background. It is good background music, but something like entices me to continue to listen, and I just go into like a zone that I'm just, man, I don't know. It's just, if you listen to this track, you will pretty much will be chilled out. It's like one of the best lo-fi tracks I've ever heard in my life, and it's a really really underrated song from X. I encourage people to listen to this. It's really cool. Number 2, I decided to place Numb from Question Mark. Numb is actually a rock ballad from X, and it's really simple, very simple layout, which just pretty much he just repeats the same like lines over this simple guitar riff, and then once it goes into the chorus, it just builds up tremendously from guitars, drums, bass. It sounds amazing, and then you can actually hear, like, I guess X's like sadness in his voice. It sounds, again, very somber. And I think what really caught me off guard listening to this was just being a rock song to begin with, or a rock ballad. And in his discography, he has worked on rock a little bit, but this is the first time I'm actually hearing a full-blown like rock ballad. And also, this is one of the first songs he made from an album that was like at least 3 minutes long in length. Even though it seemed to drag to some people, this is one of his best works, in my opinion.
If death is what it seems, why is it so vividly portrayed within my dreams? Fear of understanding the devil's running its course. Hatred's not received, it's coming straight from the source. Remorse.
And finally, my number 1 pick is Vice City. I believe it's his first song he ever released on SoundCloud. And it plays. This is where his lyrical abilities come into play. And so you thought Riot was lyrical? Bruh, Vice City takes the cake. Not even just because of his lyrical abilities that makes this song my number 1 pick. The sample, the beat for this, boom bat, lo-fi, it has pretty much every single components that I like in music, especially in rap music. And this is like, when I first heard it, this made me think like, man, this guy's gonna be an amazing artist as he grow on. And it's unfortunately that, his demise led him to more success, because people start seeing him after he's dead. It is what it is. He gets more attention after someone dies. I wish he was still alive to make more music, something like this. It's just really sad, to be honest. It's really sad. But Vice City is my favorite track from him so far. it's possible that throughout this list, they can kind of change a lot, because I still listen to X, and he might have better music in the future, you know, posthumously. So this is my list, guys. I'm gonna say this one more time. Rest in peace, X. I send my condolences to his family, his friends, and anyone else who was impacted by his death severely. I wish him the best of luck in their lives, and just to keep moving forward and continue to listen to X. You know, his music still lives on to this day, and he has influenced many artists and people, and there's still a lot of people, you know, that still care about him. So until next time, I'll see y'all later. Take care.